Yo, it's BeBall Jones, also known as Coach B, back again this week with the BeBall Jones podcast with the mental moment. Here to talk to you guys this week about confidence. This is a topic and an area of discussion that is very popular and a very easy thing to get misconstrued and to be swept under the rug because it's a very common thing that a lot of players and people in general deal with. And sometimes I hear people talk about it and they act like it's a very easy thing to do and a very easy thing to just build and develop. But in practicality and like real life situations, it's not that easy of a thing to do because it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of intentional work, and a lot of detailed work for people and players specifically to grow their confidence. It's a thing that can be easily taken and takes a lot of dedication and hard work to build. And a lot of people act like it's a very soft thing for you not to have. You know, they act like you're soft for not being confident, but it's human nature, honestly, because as we develop and grow, you know, confidence is not just a permanent thing that we just always have, because some people grow up in circumstances or they're, you know, developing around circumstances where their confidence isn't being built up as much. A lot of players come from coaches that aren't building their confidence, so they always tell them how they're messing up and they tell them how they aren't doing things right all the time, but they never focus on any of the good that they do. Or they are diminishing them and, you know, stripping their confidence away. And I've heard players say how, honestly, a coach can be the best defensive player in the league if they really wanted to, by putting their players in a box and limiting them mentally, or, you know, as far as minutes goes, or as far as what they allowed to do on the court. And all that strips players' confidence, honestly. So if you have a great player who is only limited to doing a third of what they can do, they can take some of their confidence because they feel like they're not good enough to display everything that they feel like they can do. Like, man, I'm not really that good because I feel like I can do this, but the coach is not giving me an opportunity or a chance to do whatever. And like I said before, coming from circumstances where people aren't encouraging and building them up, that's a very tough thing to come from too, because you're not being exposed, mentally being exposed to higher levels of thinking sometimes. And so you're only going to go as high as you're allowed to think. So with nobody around you to build you up to tell you or mentally show you that you can do bigger and better, you're always going to have a cap or, you know, a ceiling over your head of what you can do. Anyway, I want you guys to think about this. Confidence is built through past experiences. For instance, I always tell my players this, like, if I ask you to tie your shoe right now, you wouldn't hesitate. You probably look at me crazy, be like, okay, why am I tying my shoe? It's easy. And if I untie it again, you would simply just do it again. You would tie your shoe while looking at me. You could do it without looking, do it with your eyes closed. You do it quick, you can do it slow. It's a very effortless thing for you to do, to tie your shoes. And the simple task that is for you to do, that's how the game of basketball is for certain people, because they've practiced it so much and so often and for so long that certain tasks are easy to them. They're so confident in their skill that they built it up to a point to where it's nothing for them to complete that task. If you were to ask Steph Curry to hit a 3-point shot, he'd be like, okay, like, and it's nothing for me. And the reason he's that confident and he's so comfortable is because he's put in thousands of shots. He's stayed in the gym, he's lived in the gym, he's put up a lot of reps. Not only put up a lot of reps, he put up a lot of quality reps that were effective and efficient. And so his confidence is sky high because he's put in the work. It doesn't matter if he missed 5 in a row, he knows number 6 is going to go in. Or he missed number 6, he knows number 7 is going to go in. Because he's put in so much work to where it doesn't matter that he's missed those shots. He knows that his work, he's confident in his work that he put in is going to get him through this tough time right here. So like I said, his past experience of the games that he's played, the practices that he's had, the training sessions that he's had, all this time has built up to his confidence on another level. And so a lot of times players struggle with their confidence because they're either A, doing something that they're not comfortable doing because they haven't done it enough, or they're struggling with it because they've done it, but it hasn't sunk in mentally to where it's translatable. So a lot of times players do a lot of stuff by themselves. They do 1-on-0, 1-on-cones training. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a time and place for that. But at some point in time, there should be a transition from 1-on-0 to 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 or 2-on-2, whatever, to build between going 5-on-5. Because honestly, it's a huge jump to go from 1-on-0 or 1 versus air to go 5-on-5. And a lot of players aren't comfortable with that jump, and a lot of times it's a huge mental adjustment and a huge speed adjustment because you're not used to that counter that the defense throws at you. You feel like, I practice this crossover, I practice this move for so long and so hard that it should work. But not realizing that the defense is going to make you react a little bit different. It's going to speed you up to where you didn't train for this speed, you didn't train for this reaction, and that throws your whole game off. And your whole game being thrown off throws your confidence off. And so we have to learn how to get more effective past experiences, or basically saying to get more effective training sessions and more practices that can help build the confidence. And so if you aren't confident in your shot, you're not taking enough shots. If you're not confident in certain moves, you haven't practiced the moves enough. If you're not confident in your handles, you haven't been training your ball handling enough. It's really that simple. So in theory, that's as simple as it can get. But now practicality and actually doing it, it's a pretty hard thing to do because that takes a lot of time and dedication to sit down and focus on your ball handling. To sit down and say, okay, I'm going to train for these next 4 months on my ball handling and working on this move specifically, and having 2 or 3 counters off of this move, and having, a trainer teach me and critique me on my footwork and make sure that I'm going at the right angles and making sure that I'm applying it in the right area on the court. Now I have to make sure that I have somebody training against me, and I'm going 1-on-1, I'm practicing this move out. Okay, now I'm going 2-on-2 and I'm practicing this move and thinking about how this help defender's going to react. Now I'm going 4-on-4 and thinking about how this is going to affect my other teammates and the spacing and everything. And now I'm going 5-on-5 and seeing how this actually works in the game. And it's levels to building the confidence, and it's levels of developing the skills that we need to build that confidence. And so just to kind of recap overall, it's like your confidence is built through past experiences. And if you feel like those past experiences aren't strong enough to get you over this lack of confidence that you have right now, you need to have bigger and better experiences to develop yourself. So train smarter and train harder to build your confidence up. Like I said before, in theory and on paper, it looks very easy to build your confidence. It's easy for me to say you should go into the gym and just shoot a bunch of shots to get your confidence up. But to actually sit there and take the dedication and time to go through that tough period of missing all those shots, to get frustrated when you're shooting and the ball's bouncing around all over the gym because it's a lot of misses, that's a very hard thing to get over and do. And so you have to mentally lock in to where you're able to say progress is my only goal, to where I'm not focused on all the misses, I'm not focused on how many bricks I have, I'm focused on developing my game to where I can develop my confidence and develop overall. And so once you can lock in on that level of work and that dedication of work, you'll see your confidence grow. You'll see to where your game will go out of that because you've put in so much work to where there's no way you don't feel confident in yourself after that. And so any players out there that's struggling with your confidence, that's dealing with anything around your confidence, just know you need to just put in more work, honestly. And then sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes it's just you get an opportunity and someone not just stripping it away. There's been times where, a guy will go to a new level, going from high school to college or college to pro, and they feel like they're ready and prepared for this opportunity, but the coach is not playing them. It's a question of confidence. If you're in that situation, I suggest that you just lock in the gym and still put in work, because opportunity only comes to those that are prepared for it. It does no good for you to say, I want to play and I'm not confident right now, but the only way to get your confidence back up is to play. But if you haven't been training because you feel like, you're down and out, the coach finally does put you in because of injury or foul trouble or whatever, and you haven't been training, you haven't been preparing, you haven't been working, So your confidence shot even more because you're going to mess up. So stay locked in the gym and stay mentally tuned in, because you never know when an opportunity is going to come. And, a lot of people say you're lucky, but you've been training so much in the background for this opportunity that when it finally came, it's amazing because you've balled out. And you've done this thousands of times in the gym and alone when nobody was watching. So stay locked in, stay prepared, and keep your confidence up to when your time is called, your number's called, you're prepared for it. So keep your head up, keep your confidence up. Don't let nobody take it away from you. It's really a mental game that you have to fight, overcome by yourself sometimes. So stay locked in, keep your confidence up, keep your head up, and keep working. So that's it from the BeBall Jones podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to us. Share this podcast with a friend, a teammate. Share it with your coach. A coach, share it with your players. Whatever. This is a needed topic that a lot of people have to touch on more. And I don't think this can be talked about enough, honestly, because there's so many different people that deal with it. And the more we can develop our confidence, the more we can develop and grow in life. So thank you for listening. That's it from me. Have a good rest of your time.